of DNA and being bound to a DNA body that will suffer and die. And when they are released, then each of those incarnations, and David again has done 22 since his first, 3,000 years ago, and then return those memories to that soul. Now David is taught that eventually he will also merge back again into the oversoul of Ben, which was Ben is one of the 72. And he is taught that Ben is who he is. Ben is his higher self. Ben placed herself there. And Ben is one of the 72 oversouls that guide the evolutionary cycles of humanity for thousands of years and have enslaved us in the idea that this is how we must evolve. And Ben can do this because she is at the top of the hierarchy. She placed herself there as one of the hundreds of billions of angels. Her and 72 others have placed themselves there at this hierarchy at the top, where they never have to actually experience the lower realms, but yet will gain all of the knowledge of the lower realms and never have to leave the light of the deathless self. When you merge yourself again to the higher self, that present another soul within time and space that says, I am your higher self, beyond your incarnation, they'll present themselves to you as I am who you really are within time and space. Yet David, again, I want to mention, as I have in other videos, he acts for himself aside from me. He is having his own experiences. I am having my own experiences. He brought me into duality to do in his behalf what he did not want to experience firsthand, but wanted to have the knowledge of. And after he is done with his cycle of doing this, he is taught by these elders, by these 72 oversouls, that then he will merge into their oneness and become them. He does not become them. Everything he has ever accumulated through his many incarnations, and the first incarnation of which he really did, which was the only one he really lived, and the others that he then created and sent down here and was told that this is how he must evolve, all of these memories are given to the 72. And the 72 never actually have to do with themselves. And again, I want to refer to you the metaphorical allegory of the Garden of Eden. These gods that created these lower realms and the serpent placed innocent souls, created them out of the dust of the self, out of the one unified matrix, placed them in these lower realms, and then allowed them to be beguiled by the serpent of DNA, to be attached to mundane bodies that will experience suffering, death, and dying. They never actually do it themselves. They are doing unto the one deathless self, the essence that gives them life, that which they would not want to experience for their own selves, but want to have the knowledge of. Now, what are you going to do about this? The reason why I ask this is because you have several choices. Now, right now, you are enslaved and found in this embodiment of dense matter that will die, and you are going to be released from it someday. You will see the tunnel of light. You will then be brought back into a higher realm of which you were first created right before this incarnation began. Are you going to give these experiences to the one who presents itself within time and space and says, I am your higher self, now give me your experiences so that they will be my own, that I never created? They don't really say that, but basically that is the truth. Give your memories to me. You merge with oneness with that soul. All of your experiences are then given to that soul as its own second-hand experiences. Now again, I'm going to say these are second-hand experiences for David. If I became one with David beyond this life, none of these experiences are his own because he did not create them. Yet he has the memory and the knowledge of them. That is why the gods, the quote gods, these fallen angels, always have a knowledge of good and evil, yet never have partaken of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, nor have ever died. They have created this hierarchy within the self. And below them, they have created thousands of other souls that have once been incarnated at one time and then work in groups to perpetuate this process of evolution that brings suffering to the one self that never died before. The one self never dies. Within time and space, it does not have to receive perceptions of death and suffering, and it does not have to receive it because it does not die. Beyond time and space, within time and space, you are a microcosm of the macrocosm. You are one with the macrocosm. You are always one with it. You do not ever have to lose that. You can always return to the state of the one and understand yourself as the one, and yet still be dual within duality. In fact, the one is dual. If you ever merge your memories back into a soul that says it's your higher self within time and space, your memories and perceptions are given to that soul that it never actually created for its own self. And then your sense of self now can no longer act for itself within time and space. And you return to the primal state of the one unified essence that flows through all things. And that is who you are beyond time and space. But you are continuously, even as this one self, you are receiving perceptions of death and suffering. If you return to a state of what the Buddhists teach, return to the state of oneness, of nirvana, they teach this for a reason. Because these oversouls want you to return your sense of self to that oneness. And they want you in the process to give them all of the memories you have experienced, so they never have to actually do it, but can have your experiences. And then your sense of self is returned again to the perspective of the one. And every perspective that flows and is created within the other side of the coin of duality, within time and space, within the other side, the one has two sides, the unified essence, the field, and that which is within duality. Everything that is ever going to be created within the self will be your perceptions as the one force that flows through all things. And these are the perceptions that are being given to you. This is happening because these 72 are doing unto the one self that makes everything up within the universe. They are giving it perceptions within time and space that they do not want to have for their own selves, but want to have the knowledge of. They are doing unto the one self that which they do not want to experience as their own selves within time and space, but want to have the knowledge of. That is why death and suffering occur. Now, what are you going to do about this? Right now, you can act for yourself. You find yourself within an embodiment. Now, you are bound to your embodiment. You have a soul that is an astral part. We call it the astral. You can project. People have experiences of astral projection. You have a higher astral body that is bound to dense matter right now. You are bound to this body. What are you going to do about this at this point? Basically, you can only do what should be done at all moments within time and space. Never do unto other parts of the self that which you would not have done to your own self. Love your neighbor as yourself. Treat all of time and space that you see to perceive around you as part of who you really are, because it is. When we are in duality, we forget that we are the unified field. We have senses. These 72 have everlasting bodies that have senses in which they have allowed themselves in these higher realms to be engulfed in the Maya of duality, where they see themselves as so separate from the essence that gives them eternal life within the self, within duality. They see themselves as so separate from this that they then can feel that they can abuse that essence and create other souls out of that essence and use those souls as pawns, as parts of consciousness that can act for themselves, of which memories are then encoded through your incarnation, and give it to them, and they never have to do it themselves. And the reason they never want to do this to themselves is because it's pain and suffering, and they don't want to experience it. They just want to know about it.